Alright guys, so we're going to be using SOHCAHTOA to now help us find angles rather than sides. So if you recall, what we have been doing is we had an angle and we had a side and we were given some other number, and we had to find what angle relationship we had, what relationship from SOHCAHTOA we had, and this particular example here would have been the adjacent and the hypotenuse, which would have meant we would have had a cosine. So we would have written the cosine of your angle, which was 40, equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And we would have been able to use that to help us find this missing side length. Well, now we're going to kind of turn the tables and we're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to give you two sides and now I want you to find the angle. So the way we're going to do that is by using the inverse of trig functions. So the inverse of a trig function is used to find the measure of an angle. Now, an inverse trig function, what does it look like? You may have seen on your calculator things like sine with a little -1 exponent, or cosine with a little -1, or tangent with a little -1. So those represent inverse. You used all of these to find angles. So when you're looking to find an angle on your calculator, you're going to use those inverse button. An inverse operation is just like addition and subtraction. Addition undoes subtraction. Multiplication undoes division. A logarithm undoes an exponent. So an inverse trig function, an inverse sine, cosine, or tangent undoes the sine, cosine, or tangent function that we have been working at. So if we go ahead and look at example 1 here, we want to find the measure of angle P. So we're looking for the measure of this angle P right here. So that is actually our unknown. So we have two sides. Now the two sides that we're given in relationship to angle P, 18 is the opposite side and 11 is the adjacent side. So if we refer back to SOHCAHTOA, opposite and adjacent means we're going to have to deal with tangent here. So I'm going to always do sine, cosine, or tangent of my angle. I've been trying to say that consistently. So I want the tangent of my angle. Well, we don't know what our angle is, so we're going to call that P. And that equals opposite, which is 18, over adjacent, which is 11. So in order to undo that tangent, we're going to have to do the inverse tangent. So on each side, we're going to take the inverse tangent of tangent of P. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So you can see all I've done here is I've done the inverse tangent on each side. So what's going to happen is this inverse tangent and tangent is going to cancel each other out. They're going to undo each other. So we're going to be left with just P equals the inverse tangent of 18 divided by 11. So now on your calculator, what I want you to do is I want you to try to type that in. You're probably going to have to press the second function, so second tangent, parentheses will pop up, you'll put 18 divided by 11, and you should get 58.6. Now this 58.6, that's a degree measure. That's representing the measure of angle P. All right, let's try another example. Example 2, find the measure of angle U. So first identify where angle U is, and then decide what relationship the sides have to angle U with the sides that you're given. So 19 is the opposite side, and 28 is the hypotenuse. So referring back to SOHCAHTOA, means that when we have opposite and hypotenuse, we're going to be dealing with a sine. So the sine of my angle, which is U, is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So now we've got to undo that sine, so we're going to do the inverse sine on each side. And remember, inverse sine is just undoing the regular sine function. So these are going to cancel out and leave us with just U equals the inverse sine of 19 over 28. So again, that inverse sine, that sine with a -1 exponent, you're going to have to press the second function on your calculator and then do 19 divided by 28. You're solving for an angle measure here. So our angle measure is going to end up being 42.7 degrees. Now I will say some of you are just going to jump from this step right here at sine U equals 19 over 28 to inverse sine of 19 over 28. Some of you are even going to jump straight from the problem to this. So when we're thinking about tests and quizzes and what I want to see in order to get full credit, I'm going to want to see this and your final answer.